What's going on, everyone? So, NBA 2K. Now, obviously, the ratings and the rankings and all that stuff, we all kind of have our own thoughts and personal preferences. Like, this guy's too high or this guy's too low or whatever, right? But, it is a talking point. It is a point to kind of look at and compare to, like, actual NBA players. And, it kind of gives people idea and perspective on how they're perceived, how they're viewed, right? Where do they rank offensively and defensively and whatnot? It's just like any other ranking system. Bleacher Report puts out a thing, or ESPN or whatever, and we all look into it, we all analyze it, we all, oh, this is ridiculous, or this is too high, or this is too low, and again, we all kind of take each little point and kind of give our own thoughts and opinions on, right? And I love that. And the reason I wanted to bring up the 2K kind of ranking system is because they released their top 10 steals and they released their top 10 blocks. And there's two names in particular that are on those lists. One in the steals department, one in the blocks department that has been heavily linked to the Lakers, right? So the top 10 steals. Number one, at a 98 overall in steals, Matisse Thybulle, who is linked to the Lakers. So according to NBA 2K26, the number one guy in steals is Matisse Thybulle. That he is the best guy at generating and creating steals with a 98 overall. He's number two is Dyson Daniels. Number three is Alex Caruso. Man, what could have been? Number 4 is Chris Dunn. Number 5 is Keon Ellis, who I'd love to get. Number 6 is Carson Wallace, who I'd love to get. Number 7 is Amin Thompson. Number 8 is Tari Eason. Number 9 is Scottie Pippen Jr., which, again, another former Laker. And then number 10 is SGA. So Matisse Thybulle, who is linked to the Lakers, and the Lakers have interest in trading for, is top 10 in steals by 2K26. Again, keep in mind, it's 2K26's kind of rankings, right? Okay, let's move into the blocks here, right? So this top 10 in blocks. At a 99 overall, it's Victor Wembanyama, okay? Probably winning Defensive Player of the Year every year as long as he plays 65 games. Chet Holmgren is a 97 overall. Okay, he's number 2. Sure, all right. Number 3 is Robert Williams III. Another guy linked to the Lakers. Another guy that the Lakers are, attached to potentially trading for. Touch on this here more in a second. But number 4 is Donovan Clegan. Number 5 is Walker Kessler. Number 6 is Mbona. Number 7 is Jonathan Isaac. Number 8 is Daniel Gafford. Number 9 is Derek Lively. So Dallas has 2 of them. And then number 10 is Jay Huff. A lot of people also mentioned like Anthony Davis isn't on this. I personally don't know why. I saw somebody say that 2K lost the rights to Anthony Davis. So maybe that's why. I don't really know. If you know why, please, I'd love to, if you actually know why, I'd love to hear actually why down in the comments. But, the reason I wanted to talk about this, because obviously, look, it's 2K ratings. It's not the be all end all. It's not the this is the crowning jewel of if 2K says it, it has to be true. But what I do think it does is it highlights what the potential impact for Matisse Thybulle and Robert Williams could bring to this team, and why I am so big and have talked about it so much, and I've talked about how they could be the difference makers in the Lakers winning a championship or not, right? You're talking about one of the best defensive, steal wings in all of basketball in Matisse Thybulle, who can generate the steals and all of that, who would be beautifully slotted in alongside of Luka Doncic, right? And then you're getting one of the best shot blocking big men, also rebound. I mean, he's actually a rebounder, but you're getting one of the best defensive big men in Robert Williams to add into your core. So you're adding 2 higher end, right? Wherever you personally rank them, maybe you agree with 2K and you think, Matisse Thybulle is number 1 and Robert Williams is number 3 and, all this stuff, right? Like, however you feel about it, there's no denying that they are 2 of the higher end kind of role guys and key guys that can have an impact on the defensive side of the ball. right? Which is what the Lakers could really use. You look at this Lakers roster, it's like, okay, like what do they need more than anything? Defense, right? Like, and the versatility. And Robert Williams would be an excellent lob threat. Like, he's a guy that I could see averaging 8 to 10 points playing alongside Luka Doncic, and Luka just feeding him all game. Matisse Thybulle, if he can continue and translate the shooting that he's displayed and shown, he's a guy that I think, could give you probably, 8 to 10 points a night from the court perspective. Keep in mind, he's probably the 6th, 7th, 8th guy at that point. But, the big problem with those two is just the health. They're not two guys that have been super reliable in the health department, right? They're not like, especially Robert Williams. I mean, Robert Williams has played, like, off the top of my head, I think it's like 61 games in the last 3 years combined. It's not great. And look, I've said this before, like, if you had a DeLorean or a crystal ball or whatever, if you had something to where you could jump into the future or see the future, and you told me, hey, Tyler, just to let you know, Robert Williams and Matisse Thybulle are going to play 55 games, right? Nothing crazy, 55 games, right? But they're going to be fully healthy come playoff time. However far you advance, they'll be healthy the entire playoffs. I would trade everything I have to go get them, right? Here's our first, here's Dalton Connect, here's Rui, here's whatever you have to do, right? Because I think that those two are impactful enough. Robert Williams, is exactly what this team needs. Can rebound, defend, right? Be a lob threat, bull in a china shop, bring physicality, toughness, has a relationship with Marcus Smart. So I think that would be a good kind of pairing and whatnot to have Marcus Smart out on the perimeter. Because you could have like Luka Doncic, Matisse Thybulle, right, with a Marcus Smart, LeBron James, and Robert Williams out there at times. And just have that switchability, that defense, Robert Williams being able to defend in space, be able to defend at the rim, right? Like, and then again, Matisse Thybulle being able to defend 1 through 3 and has that 7-foot wingspan and can defend multiple positions and block shots and great steals and do all this stuff, and just he can be that pest and get after it defensively. Another like Alex Caruso type of player. Right? Like, those two guys are two guys that I truly believe could be the thing that puts the Lakers over the top to winning a championship, right? But it's just such a risk that I can't give up my first. Connect, sure, because you have to give something to get something, right? And I don't think that they're just going to swap expirings, right? Like, if they had like another year on their deal each, maybe, right? Like, so if they still had contracts in 2026, I could see them maybe being like, all right, fine, just like, give us whatever, Rui and Gabe Vincent, and we'll just do the trade, right? But they're expiring, so it's like, we're just going to help you. Like, no, there's got to be incentive, right? So to me, if it was like, if you're giving up your like, I would try to keep Rui personally. Like, if I could, I would do like Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Dalton Connect. And then if you want like a second, or you want like a pick swap or something, like, as long as I'm keeping my first and can keep Rui Hachimura in that trade, I would do it, right? Like, I'd be like, okay, right? Because again, there's just so much risk that goes into it. And I don't want to trade Rui Hachimura for something that's so risky. And then you still have Rui in your first, and that you could go trade. And if Robert Williams doesn't work out, he at least is expiring contract. Like, let's say he can't stay healthy. At least he's an expiring contract that you can go and leverage to go make a move elsewhere. Or if Matisse Thybulle isn't healthy, right? Then maybe you're taking Matisse Thybulle and, Rui Hachimura in your first and going and getting Andrew Wiggins, right? Like, there's options and flexibility. Like, you still have flexibility if you go get those guys. But there's, the health factor. Not just that, but they're free agents. So you go and you give your first, you give up Connect, you give up Rui, you give up everything to go get those two. Let's say that they are healthy. Let's say that they are super healthy and great all season. Now, obviously, if you win a championship, it's worth it, even if they walk. But there is that chance that you trade everything, you get those two guys, and if you don't win a championship and they just walk, you just sold the farm to have no end result. Now, if you did that and you win the championship, like I mentioned, then it was worth it. And it's like, okay, like, even if they walk, it's like, yeah, it sucks. You want to run it back. Also, would they really walk if you just won the championship? Probably not. Everyone's probably trying to run it back. But point is that, like, if I'm the Lakers, right? Like I have to, if I'm the Lakers, I really want those two, right? But I'm presenting it as like, hey, like they're solid players. They'd be great rotation guys, but they're too risky. It has to make sense. You're going to lose them both for nothing in the offseason anyway, right? So would you rather have something than nothing? Would you rather have a Dalton Connect just to, have a young guy that could, play for you and, it's cheap for the next few years that you could kind of, have as a foundation piece? Or, here, you want a second? You want, a couple pick swaps? Sure. Right? Like, whatever. As long as you're not trading your first, not trading Rui Hachimura. If you can keep those two things, then whatever else you need to trade, I'd be, a couple pick swaps, whatever. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So I enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.